So, yesterday we learned about the introduction, just about JavaScript evolution. We learned about the basic evolution. What is now you need to understand what is the role of JavaScript in HTML. What is the role of JavaScript in HTML? Right. I told you that JavaScript is used client side, server side, and database animations everywhere. So, what is the role of JavaScript in HTML? Why we need, right? And model. HTML presents everything in a DOM. DOM manipulations and interactions means nothing but adding elements into DOM, adding elements into DOM, removing elements from DOM, updating data into elements. All these comes under DOM manipulation. These are all DOM manipulations. That means we can add a new element. We can remove an existing element. We can update data into element. All such things we can manage by using JavaScript. Actually, JavaScript is also used for, JavaScript is used to reduce burden on server. JavaScript is used to reduce burden on server by handling validations client side, by handling validations also client side. Actually, many times people give this as an answer. That means when we ask what is the purpose of JavaScript in HTML, then majority of people give this answer, last line. That means people say that JavaScript is used for validations. That is very correct. But it is not only for validations. It will do a lot of other things. That means actually, what is the responsibility of JavaScript is, suppose I will show you here. We learned how web applications actually work. Suppose we have database. Generally, we will have a database. Usually, we have database. So, database is the location where all our data is kept. That is the location where our data is kept. But to communicate with the database, actually, we need a server-side technology. We need server-side technology. By using that server-side technology, actually, we communicate with the database. And from the client side, that means this is the client side. This is client side. That means this is user. User is client side. Now what happens is, for example, in the database, there is a table where a name, age, some email we have to enter. Now, to enter those details, for the clients, we given a form. So we designed a form and we asked them to enter the details from the form and submit. Then actually what happens when he enters the details? Suppose name is entered, age is wrongly entered with a string, but actually age must be number. So they entered wrong details. Now what happens? This data that will come to server first. The data will come to server. From server, it will go to database. And the database have to insert into this table. But it will see that the details are wrong. That means name or age or email, these details are wrong. Means some age is wrong. Then database will reject that data. It will say that age must be number. That means it will send that information to server. And from server, again that information comes to you. That means it will show you that age must be a number. It's a lengthy process. From your computer, the data should go to server, from server to database, and database rejects it, again comes back. So this is huge burden to server. If everything have to come from server, it will take a lot of time. To reduce burden on server, what we do is we will write a logic that runs here itself, that runs on the client computer itself, that runs on client computer itself. It will verify whether all the details are correct. If any detail is wrong, then immediately it rejects there only. That means the details are not sent to server until or unless they are correct. That is good. We are reducing burden on server. So how you are reducing burden on server? By handling the validations in the client side. By handling the validation on client computer. Before it goes to server, it will verify everything. That is very good. That means this work is done by whom? It is done by JavaScript. So if anyone asks what is the purpose of JavaScript in HTML, the primary aim of JavaScript is to reduce burden on server. How it will reduce burden on server? By handling validations, interactions, manipulations, everything client side. But that is also one drawback. One drawback is if client side JavaScript is disabled, because JavaScript can be disabled on browser. If JavaScript is disabled, then these validations will not work. There is no chance. Then we have to verify them on server side. So client side validation is very good, but we should not completely depend on them. We have to use both client side as well as servers. If client side validations missed, then we will catch them on server. So validations are required both client side as well as server side. If you want to reduce the burden on server, then write client side. But we cannot ignore server side, because if client side validations are bypassed, then we have to catch them on the server. This is very important. So what is the purpose of JavaScript is handling DOM interactions and handling validations. DOM interactions means lot of things are there. We can add an element into page. We can remove element from the page. We can update data into the element. All such activities we can do with JavaScript. That is the main concept of JavaScript. That is the role of JavaScript in HTML, right? Now, actually, once you know the role of JavaScript, that means another doubt will come. Why it is called as script? Why it is called as a script? What is the point about script? Actually, in computer technologies, a script can run individually. A script can run individually, or it can be embedded into another interface. You can be embedded into another interface. That is the speciality of a script. That means what is the ability of a script is it can individually run and it can run as a part of another technology. That means you can individually use it or you can use it as a part of any other interface. That means generally many tech languages, they can be individually used. They cannot be integrated into another interface. They can individually run. But scripts are having a behavior in such a way that they can individually run, means separately they can run. They can run along with another interface. They can be embedded into interface. That is why JavaScript is a script. Why it is a script? Because it can run individual and it can run as a part of any another interface. That is the reason JavaScript is used in lot of interfaces. Angular uses JavaScript, React uses JavaScript. Everywhere front end means JavaScript. That means JavaScript is called as a script because it can individually run or it can be embedded into another interface. That is the main concept actually. Why it is called JavaScript? Yesterday I told you, right? That is just a name. Is there any relation between Java and JavaScript? No. It is completely different, right? So why it is called a script? That is the reason it is called script, right? Next important is now how JavaScript is integrated into HTML. How JavaScript is integrated into HTML. Same like CSS. How CSS is integrated into HTML? If I want to use CSS in HTML, what are the methods? Inline, embedded, external file. JavaScript also same. That means you can use JavaScript inline, you can use JavaScript embedded, and you can use JavaScript in external file. You know the difference. Inline advantage is it is faster, but you cannot reuse. Embedded you can reuse, but you can reuse only within the page. If you want to use across pages, then you can use external file. That is important. So JavaScript is integrated into HTML in three ways, same like CSS. I will show points. Actually, inline JavaScript. Inline JavaScript means, so script is embedded into element. Script is embedded into element. It is faster. It is faster in access. So, but what is the problem? It is faster in access. What is the problem? It cannot be reused. It cannot be reused. It is faster in access, but it cannot be reused. Reusability issues will come. How? A simple example I will give here. Syntax. Later you are going to learn just basic syntax I will give. Suppose we have a button. On click, when button is clicked, just it have to use window.print. Like this we are defining. This is script and we have a print and button close. This is enough. It will work. That means now script is written for that element individually. Now this is inline script. This is inline script. Let's see, for example, so the project we have. Yeah. So what is our project? Shopping a e-shopping a d-shopping e-shop. Yeah. So here I will add a simple page. I will put a new folder. I will put a new folder. I will give the name JavaScript. Okay. JavaScript. In that I will add a new file. Okay. Home.html. Now you see here we are designing a simple page. And in this page, I am defining button, a heading. So click print button to print page. I'm just using here print. This is a simple page design. And when user clicks the print button, it should print the page. So this is a simple print button. And when user click the print button, it should open printer and print the page. For that, we are writing the logic directly inside the button. We are writing on click. I will tell you all this, what is on click and all we will learn. On click indicates what should happen when the button is clicked. On click, JavaScript have to print the window. For that, it have a ready-made function called window.print. This is a JavaScript function which is used to print the window. JavaScript is case sensitive. You have to write the spellings and capitalization in the same way how I give in the class. I will tell you the capitalizations. Currently, it is all lowercase, window.print, right? Okay. Now, this is simple. JavaScript works fine. Now, I run this and click on print button. Then it will open printer settings and I can print that particular page. This is inline script. Inline script is very simple. So, but what is problem? I have another button. There also I want print. Then I have to write again. Every time you have to write. As of now, only one word logic is there. It's okay. Suppose 10, 15 lines of logic you have to reuse again and again. Then it is not good. So this is inline script. Script can be inline, right? I will keep this example. This is example for inline JavaScript. Now, another technique, you can keep JavaScript embedded. Embedded. Embedded means what? Embedded means JavaScript is defined. JavaScript is defined in the page by using script container. Now, very important, you remembered I explained style is embedded by using style container. Where to keep the style? In head section or in body. I told you both are possible. Same rules for JavaScript also. That means script can be embedded into head or body section. What is difference? I told you that in CSS. What is difference? Body section means the script is intended to directly execute when page loads. Head section means load in the memory, and from the memory access and use whenever required. If you want any script to immediately execute, then write in the body. Load into the head section and access, then you have to define in head. That's already we know. Another important is script can be embedded in head or body. Another, so script MIME type is text slash JavaScript. What is the CSS MIME type? CSS MIME type is text slash CSS. And here the MIME type is text slash JavaScript. That is the MIME type, right? Yep. So how do we write syntactically? So in the head section, suppose we are writing a script type is equal to text JavaScript. And in this script and head section close, that's ready. Now, how do we write that? I will give an example here. We will see that example. How do we define? Here, so many other points are there. I will tell you. Now, let's see. Let's go into the page here. So let's go into the page and on click, remove this window print here. That means now it is not working. It's not working anymore. Now we go to head section. Here we are writing a script. What is the script type? Script type as text JavaScript. And here we will put a function. We need to define a function. Function specifies actions to perform. What action to perform? What is the function name? So print page is the function name. What this function have to do? This function have to print the page. That means window.print. That means on button click, we have to call this function. So what is the function name? Print page. That is the function we have to call. We are going to learn what is a function, why it is written like that, how it is accessed. We are going to learn. As of now, just you need to understand difference between inline and embedded. That is only the point. What is function, how it is written, all these we are going to learn. Okay. So here, this is embedded. What is advantage now? I can access this print page from anywhere. A drop down wants, it can use print page. If a button wants, it can use print page. We can reuse this. Now you see, you can see that it is working fine. Print, it is working fine. But what is problem in this? The problem in this is nothing but if I want the same function in another page, you cannot use it. This is only for this page. So what is the problem in embedded technique? So you cannot access across pages. You cannot access across pages. You cannot access across pages. That is problem with the embedded. Example is this. Okay, now what is the solution if you want across pages? If you want across pages, what is the solution? So script in external file. Script in external file. Script in external file. Here same like JavaScript, CSS here. JavaScript files have extension .js. JavaScript files have extension .js. And JavaScript files are linked to any page by using script tag. So that means how to link. Suppose there is some home.js. How to link this? We have to use a script. Script source. Script source. Already we linked Bootstrap, na? Right? Same. Script source. We have to use home.js and close the script. That's what we have to define. Here MIME type is what? Text JavaScript, right? This is how we need to define. So what is advantage of this? So you can access the script from any page. You can reuse across pages. What is drawback? What is the drawback of maintaining script in a separate file? Already we learned using an external file will increase number of requests. If number of requests increase, page load time also increases. So unnecessarily you cannot use external files. So what is the drawback? So what is the drawback? Using external file will increase the number of requests for page, and also the page load time. That is the problem. That is the reason you cannot use external file every time, because using external file will increase the number of requests and it will increase the page load time. It will increase the page load time. That is what actually problem with external file. So example, here I will show you. We will remove this code function from here. Okay, now you can see it is not working anymore. Print button is not working. Now let's go to our src folder. In src folder, we will keep a separate folder called scripts. We will put a scripts folder. In that scripts folder, we will add a new script file, printing.js. And in that you paste the code function, whatever the function is there. Now I need to link that to our page. So here what we have to do? Script type is this. Script source is equal to ... So src / in that what? Scripts printing.js. That is enough. Now this print page function is present in this file. It is coming from that particular file. So now you can see here, I click on this print button, it is going to work again normal. So this is accessing the code from another file. That is what actually external file. So example, how? First point is go to src folder. So add a new folder, scripts, then add a new file into folder. So by name printing.js. In that put this code. In printing.js, we have to put this code. And next step, go to HTML page and link the script file. That's what you have to do. And linking the script file, I will copy this code. This is the code. We are linking the script file. This is the code we have to do. This is external file. Now, already we discussed one more point. You remembered? In development, we have to use the original code. In production, we cannot use the original code. In production, we have to use which code? Minified. In production, we have to use minified code, just like CSS. Just like CSS, so for JavaScript also, JavaScript minifiers will be there. You tried CSS minifier na? Same CSS minifier like JavaScript minifier also will be there. But as of now, you don't need that, but you can try. What you can do, let's go to online and search JavaScript minifier. JS minifier, a free domain is not there. JavaScript minifier. Okay, this is JavaScript minifier. Okay, JavaScript minifier.com is there. Open this JavaScript minifier. Now what you have to do, you have to paste your JavaScript code. This is the function. We have to paste the JavaScript code. After pasting the JavaScript code, you click on minify JavaScript. Minify JavaScript, it will give you the shortcut code for that. We have to copy that shortcut code. As of now, you will not see much shortcut because we are just using only 1-2 lines code. Now this shortcut code, we have to go to the src scripts. Here we have to add a new file. What should be the file name? printing.min.js. In that min file, this is the minified code. In minified code, everything comes in one line. Unnecessary code logics are removed, like semicolons, everything it removes. Now it is okay. Now we can use the minified file for our project. That means here I am using printing.min.js. Now this also works fine. Refresh, you see print. This is also working fine. But when to use original file and when to use the minified file, we know. When to use the original file? Development. When to use the minified file? Production. In production, we have to use same like CSS, JavaScript also can be minified. So this is website address I will give here. So you can simply write this point also, right? So note. So you can minify the JavaScript code and use for production. That means printing.js, this is development. Printing.min.js, this is for production, right? And this is a website, javascriptminifier.com. javascriptminifier.com. How to minify, how to link, same like CSS you have learned. So we are not repeating that. You can try. So this is another important point. So how many ways are there? In how many ways you can use JavaScript? You can integrate JavaScript into HTML. 3. JavaScript can be inline. JavaScript can be embedded. It can be external file. So which one is better depending on the situation? Already we know that. We cannot say that this is good, this is not good, right? That completely depends on the situation, right? Next, important. When you are writing JavaScript, here, another major concept you need to know is, in many interviews, they ask this question: what is JavaScript? What is JavaScript strict mode? Strict mode. What is JavaScript strict mode? So what is JavaScript strict mode? That is one important question asked regularly. Actually, strict mode means, suppose I will show one small example. Yeah. So here in this page, I am simply writing some script. Observe, I am writing some script. In that, I am defining x equal to 10. And I am just printing. Just observe. No need to worry. Just observe. Document dot write means it is used for output. I will tell you next level we will see that. Just see the concept. X is equal to the value of x. I am writing like this. Actually, according to the programming standards, x is a variable where we are storing some value called 10. And we are printing that variable value, whatever is there in x. But as per programming standards, you cannot use a variable without declaring a variable. X equal to 10 is you are assigning value into a variable called x, but x variable is never declared. That means you haven't declared a variable called x, but you are storing some value to it. It is not possible in general programming, and it is not good also in general programming. But JavaScript allows. JavaScript allows. If it is C, C++, .NET, Java, any technology, it is wrong. But JavaScript, it is not wrong. It will allow. You see here, when I run this now, you can see, so it is working fine. No problem. It is working fine. But as per programming standards, that is not good. Why? What happens now is, we are developing a project. In that project, hundreds of developers will be there. And so many teams will be there. Few teams are in India, some are in US, some are in UK. All are working on same project. And 100 developers are working on JavaScript. And every developer have his own way of writing. One person will declare, another person will not declare. That leads to a lot of inconsistency in coding. That means, for example, I told you, if you remembered, actually, suppose I told you that we have some class. Class is a attribute. You can put its value without quotations, text danger. We can put its value with double quotation, text danger. We can put that value with single quotation. What is it? Text. All are valid. All are valid. Then one person writes with quotes, another person without quotes, one person uses double quotes, another person single quote. Lot of confusion. So we don't want JavaScript to allow such shortcut techniques. We want JavaScript to follow as per standards. If anybody writing without following standards, it should reject that code. That is called strict mode. That means strict mode is nothing but, actually, strict mode is used to verify the code standards. By default, it is off in JavaScript. It is off in JavaScript. By default, strict mode is off in JavaScript. That is the reason even I don't follow the standard, it is working. Then what you have to do is you have to turn it on by using use strict. By using use strict, we have to do this by using use strict. That means, so JavaScript logic must start with use strict in quotation semicolon. Wherever you are planning to write JavaScript, first line should be this one. If you put first line this one, then there is no problem. That means anybody violating the program standards, it will immediately show errors. It will say that this is not good. Right? For that, we need to turn on the strict mode. So by default, JavaScript strict mode is off. That is the reason currently, even if it is a wrong concept, it is working. Without declaring a variable, it should not work, but it is working. Now, what we will do in the beginning means at the top here, we will put use strict semicolon. Now, immediately you can see, refresh and see, it's not working anymore. If you want to see what is error, you can go to inspect. In inspect, you can go to console. JavaScript related errors are displayed in console. Go to console category. In the console category, you will see X is not defined. X is not defined. It says that you haven't defined X, but you are using it. But if I don't turn on the strict mode, you see, if I remove the strict mode, that is not an error. It is working fine. So, but when I put the strict mode, then it is not working. Now my developer, what he have to do as per the standards, he have to declare this variable and use. For example, temporarily I am using var x. I am declaring and using, and you can see it is working fine. If I don't follow the standards, then it will not work. It will not work. It will work if strict is removed. So it is very important that in real world JavaScript, every time we ask our developers that put JavaScript in always strict mode. Turn on the strict mode and write JavaScript, right? Everywhere this is mandatory, right? So that is the concept of strict mode. So I will give a syntax here. Suppose in the script, we are writing x equal to 10. Document.write x equal to plus x. I am writing like this. So I will close the script. Now, actually, it is valid. There is no problem. Valid, no problem, because currently you are not in strict mode. For example, I am writing again another one, script. So I am using use what? Strict. Use strict. And here x equal to 10. And document.write x equal to plus x. And script close. Then this is invalid. That means here it will show invalid. Why it is invalid? X is invalid. Why it is invalid? X is not defined. X is not defined. So how to make it valid? By defining it. That you will see later how to define it. But first you need to understand what is strict mode. While writing JavaScript, this is very, very important. JavaScript strict mode. How to turn on JavaScript strict mode. Okay. Next another question is how to target JavaScript for legacy browsers. How to target JavaScript for legacy browsers. Legacy means old version browsers. When we are writing JavaScript for old version browsers, we have another important concept here. Actually, JavaScript, some new features added. Every version, some new features are coming. But some browsers cannot understand the new features because they are not yet updated, right? They old versions only. So the browsers which cannot understand new version of JavaScript, those browsers are called legacy. Those browsers are called legacy browsers. Now, when you write any program in latest version, old browsers can't understand. That is the reason to make the old browsers understand the latest features. We have one technique. So that is very, very rarely used by people. Why? Because very extreme experts in technology know this concept. Even online also, you will very hardly see this technique shown to you anywhere. That means in any website, anywhere, they will hardly show you this concept, right? So, but when you go to companies, very senior experts in programming, they are using this technique. That means what they do is they write the script like this. This is script actually. This is script. Now, according to this, I will put here var x, declaring x, and now it will be working fine. Now it will be working fine. Now what we are doing here, this is the script. This is the script. We are going to keep this script in a HTML comment. This is an HTML comment. That is an HTML comments. Here, suppose X value is 30 or 40 or something. I changed that here. You can see it is working fine. It is working fine. But here, why we written this one? This is not any JavaScript related logic. But this is to tell the compiler, means parser. Parser is translator. To tell the translator that if any new features come to you, you need to translate that into the old and use in the old format. Otherwise, browsers will immediately show error saying that I can't understand this line. That means some script error will come. It says that because later you will see that actually what happened, suppose in the latest versions, what happened is, suppose we are using some operation. Actually, suppose we are using 2 double asterisk 3. That is actually 2 to the power of 3. That means its result is how much? 8. From latest versions, from latest version, double asterisk means exponent. Not in old version. In old version of JavaScript, we write like this: math.pow 2, 3. That is equal to 8. This is the new technique. That means this is the new technique. And this is the old technique. Now what happens is, if you write in this way, old browsers will translate in this way. Old browsers are going to translate in that way. And they will use it. Otherwise, if I don't write in commented lines, then what will happen is, it will simply say that I can't understand this double asterisk. Which browser? Old browsers. Old browsers will tell that I can't understand what is this double asterisk. But if I give that in commented, then it will translate through old version. And it can understand that, okay, this need to be converted into math.pow, and it will convert and use it. Right? So to make JavaScript understandable to old version browsers, we have to put JavaScript in these comments. We have to put JavaScript in these comments. This is the starting of comment, and this is the ending of comment. In between that, your script must be there. This is very, very, very rare. This is seen from very extreme experienced people. That means who are using JavaScript from more than 15, 20 years. They know this. Recent people don't know. You will never find anywhere in any website. Any examples also, you will not see this. You will never see. You go to today, Google JavaScript, so many examples you will find. You will never find this easily. You will see this technique never mentioned anywhere, but it is working here. We have to use this. You will see that in very, very old websites. That means some websites telling about JavaScript 15, 20 years back, then at that moment they use this technique. Others, currently why they are not using this? Because currently all are advanced browsers. We are forcing people to use advanced browsers. We are telling that this browser is there, then only it will work. That means he have to update browser. You see bank websites, not only bank websites. I showed you so many websites now. At the bottom, they have shown particular, what they shown is any website showing HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank website. Let's scroll this down at the bottom. Anywhere they are mentioning about the browser. Here they are not mentioning browser, but later when you open an old browser, they will tell. Let's see some other website, Inox movies. Okay. Now in this website, you see, scroll down, you see they are telling that best viewed on these browsers. That means they are saying that best viewed on which browser? Internet Explorer, Firefox 8 plus, 3 plus, right? And they will even mention how much speed minimum should be. 256 kbps or faster. That means websites are now forcing us to use certain browsers. Otherwise, they don't work. You can't blame on them. They will simply say that you have to use this browser to use our facility. Otherwise, it will not. So technically, to target our code to old version browsers, we have to use this technique. So what is the answer for this? How to target JavaScript for legacy browsers? By enclosing the JavaScript code in HTML comments. Enclosing JavaScript code in HTML comments. So syntactically we write like this. So we have a script and we need to start with, this is starting of comment and your code, and you have to end the comment. Like this you have to define how we need to configure. This is very important. When you are working with JavaScript, this is another concept, right? I will make a example of this also. This is simple example. This is the example how you can define. That's the example. So use strict x and x equal to 30 some option. What is the document, right? Where all these you are going to learn. Don't worry about that. First, you have to understand these questions and concept. So when you are writing JavaScript, first point, how we can turn on strict mode. Second point, how we have to target JavaScript for old version browsers. Another concept means another question asked in interviews is, another question is how to check the status of JavaScript on page. JavaScript in browser, on page only, on page. How to check the status of JavaScript on browser, whether it is working or not. How do we know whether JavaScript working or not? Because if JavaScript is not working, these functions will not work. How do we know? So actually by using no script element, this is very important point. By using no script element in HTML, there is an element called no script. This element is to verify whether JavaScript running or not. If JavaScript is not running on your browser, you cannot use anything, right? So it is mandatory that JavaScript must be running on the browser. For example, you see here, suppose I will take to some page. Let's design this. Okay, we have a heading and click a print button, and we will just keep a button and print page, and on click is equal to window dot print. Now you can see here I am writing some logic, and let's run this here. Now actually I will go to my browser settings, Chrome : it's not Chrome, it is Edge / settings. These are Edge settings. If you are using Chrome settings, Edge settings. In this Edge settings, I will search for JavaScript. You can see JavaScript settings came. JavaScript is allowed. I will click there. I will block JavaScript. Why they have given a facility of blocking JavaScript? Why they have given a facility of blocking JavaScript? Because JavaScript have a lot of security issues. JavaScript have a lot of problems. Means because of JavaScript, you will face a lot of problems. So JavaScript is a client-side script, and it is very dangerous. Actually, JavaScript is mostly used by, why it is dangerous? Because it is mostly used by, JavaScript is used by Trojans. JavaScript is used by Trojans. So actually in computer technologies, you will come across with virus, Trojans, worms, so many are there. You have like bugs. You will hear these words regularly. In computer technology, you will come across with Trojans, virus, worms and bugs. Actually, what is virus, what is Trojan, what are worms, and what are bugs? Different nature they are. More dangerous out of all of them is Trojans. Trojans are very dangerous, and JavaScript is responsible for that. Trojan means, actually Trojans are nothing but, if a Trojan is installed in your computer, means you install a Trojan in your computer or in your mobile. In mobile also Trojans are there. If you install the Trojan, it can broadcast your information to others. That means anybody can come on in your computer, he can sit on in your computer, he can copy a Trojan into your computer. You even don't know that it is running. Nowhere it will show the status Trojan is there, until or unless you have anti-spy softwares. You need antivirus, anti-spy softwares. Those softwares will verify any Trojan is working. But somebody may come, sit on your computer, they can copy a Trojan and go. And after that, they can open their computer, laptop, and they can watch everything what you are doing. That is very common concept. Even it is available on mobiles. We can install a Trojan on mobile, and you can watch what they are doing on mobile. You can do it. So many such Trojans are there for mobile. Some are officially used also. For example, I hope you know there is a Google Family app. You have idea? No. Google Family app is there. Google Family app is present. Google Family app is present. What is the purpose of that Google Family app is? So Google Family. This is Google Family app actually. Manage your family on Google. It is an app present on Google. Google Family app is present. Actually, the purpose of Google Family app is, suppose these days very much everybody started knowing it. It is there from several years, because suppose these days our kids are doing online classes and all, right? We are giving tabs to them and they are doing everything online classes and all. What parents are doing now, just they install a Google Family app on that and they can watch what they are watching. They can control that tab from their mobile. That means they can stop it anytime, they can on it anytime, they can know what they are watching, how much time they have watched, everything you can control from that app. That is a Trojan. That means when they are using the tab, you can stop the tab, you can on, you can resume, you can even find where it is. On maps, it will show exact location where it is, what they are doing, how much time they have used, what they are currently watching, everything you can see, that you can control. How that information is coming to us, that means from that device some information is sent to you. If they try to install any app, game or something on their mobile or any tab, it will immediately alert you saying that somebody is trying to install. Do you approve? You can approve or reject. This is a Trojan actually. Trojans are used in a good way, but they are very dangerous in different ways. That is, and who is broadcasting your information to others? Trojans. And who is controlling the Trojan? JavaScript. How your information is broadcasted to others? There might be some script running in your computer. That script is JavaScript. That is the reason. See, they have given an option block, not disable. You know the word disable, block. Block is a very harsh word. Block is a very harsh word. Disable is little better. Disable means politely we are saying that currently it is not available. Right? Blocking means I am telling that I am not allowing you. That is very harsh. Why they have given a block facility for JavaScript? Because it is dangerous. Because it is dangerous, that's the reason they given a facility of blocking. And when you block JavaScript related anything will not work. Now you see, I will open this page, click the print, it's not working. Now people are confused why it is not working, internet not working, their website not working. Now you have to tell that user that there is no problem from our side. That is the problem on your browser. Your browser have disabled JavaScript. Please enable JavaScript to use this functionality. How to tell them? We have to use a tag here, no script. In no script, we will put the message whatever we want. We will say that, so JavaScript disabled. We will put that message. Please enable JavaScript on your browser. This message we are giving. And you can see automatically that message comes here. You can see that message comes here. That means JavaScript disabled. Please enable JavaScript on your browser. And remember, if JavaScript is allowed, if it is enabled, this message will not display. That message will display only when JavaScript is disabled, blocked. That means you block JavaScript and you can see now it is showing the message. You allow, now the print page button is not working. And you allow JavaScript and refresh. Now it is working fine. Now you can see it is working fine. There is no problem. Right? That is actually the concept here. So how we can verify whether JavaScript enabled or not by using no script. Just what you have to do is in the body section anywhere you just add no script and put a message, please enable JavaScript, right? And this message will be displayed only when JavaScript is enabled. Like that, not only JavaScript, so many such techniques are there, so many such things are there. Security wise, so many such options are there, you will learn later. Initially, this is very, very important for every person who starts JavaScript learning. First, verify whether JavaScript is working or not. That means this tag is used React, Angular, because any technology which is using JavaScript, the technology first should verify JavaScript enabled or not. Right? If JavaScript is disabled, this is not going to work at all. If you ask, is there any alternative? No alternative. Enable JavaScript, then only you can use. There is no alternative. Enable JavaScript and use. Similarly, these days you might have seen cookies. Websites are asking, this website allows cookies, allow cookies from this website. Every website, even on mobile also, na? Right? That is also related to this JavaScript concept only. But later you will, not now, later you will understand what are cookies, why they are required and all. But this is for JavaScript status, enabled or not, right? That is one. Now, these are all the points. So, what is JavaScript? How JavaScript is integrated into page? What is JavaScript strict mode? And how JavaScript is targeted to legacy browsers? How to verify whether JavaScript enabled or not? Enabled or not. Another important, in many interviews they ask, what are the drawbacks? What are the issues with the JavaScript? What are the issues with the JavaScript? This is another question asked regularly in interviews. What are the problems in JavaScript? The issues in JavaScript, first point is JavaScript is not strongly typed. Strongly typed. JavaScript is not strongly typed. Strongly typed is not strongly typed language. JavaScript is not strongly typed language. That is one bigger problem with JavaScript. Strongly typed means there is no data type restriction. There is no data type restriction. JavaScript is not strongly typed. There is no data type restriction. That is the biggest problem with JavaScript. But sometimes it is good, sometimes it is not good, right? So situation you will learn later. Actually, what is meant by strongly typed? For example, I said, so x equal to 10. What is the data type of x? X is what? X is a number. X is a number. 10 is a number, na? X is a number. Now into X, I am storing some John. Is it valid to store a string into number? Not valid, but it is valid in JavaScript. There is no restriction. That means you can store any kind of value, then a lot of problem will come. That means every time we have to verify, is it number, is it string, what they input, lot of validation problems will come. Other language, some languages are like this, few other languages are strongly typed. That means suppose C, C++, Java, .NET, they will say integer X. That means X must be integer. You can't store anything else. Even you try to store, it will reject. But in JavaScript, it will not do. It will allow anything. That is what one of the major problem with JavaScript. So JavaScript is not strongly typed. Another important is JavaScript is implicitly strict. It is not, JavaScript is not implicitly strictly typed. Strictly typed language. What is meant by strictly typed language? Already I told you, na? It is not implicitly strictly typed. Strictly typed means it will not follow the standards. What we have to do? You have to turn on. Am I right? Turn on strict mode explicitly. Understood? That means internally it is not following standards. We have to externally tell it to follow standards by turning on strict mode. And in many interviews we have seen these days, recent interviews, they ask this question about JavaScript. What is strongly typed? What is strictly typed? What is difference between strong and strict? JavaScript is strongly typed or not? JavaScript is not strongly typed. JavaScript is strictly typed or not? Default it is not strictly typed. We have to turn on. What is strongly typed means? What is strictly typed means? What is difference between strongly typed, strictly typed? Strongly typed is about data type. Strictly typed is about standards. Understood? Strongly typed is about data type restriction. Strictly typed is about standards, coding standards. So strongly typed is about data type restriction, and strictly typed is about coding standards restriction. So that is strongly typed and strictly typed. Another important problem with JavaScript is actually JavaScript is not an OOP language. It is not an object-oriented programming language. It is not object-oriented programming language. It supports only few features of OOP. It is not a complete OOP language. It supports only some features of OOPs. Due to that, what happens is extensibility issues will come. Security issues will come. Extensibility issues, security issues will come if it is not a good OOP language. So to have good security and good extensibility, our technology must support OOP, and JavaScript is not supporting OOP. JavaScript is not a OOP language. It will not support all features of OOPs, only some. One or two features of object-oriented programming are supported in JavaScript. So never say that JavaScript is an OOP language. JavaScript is a general language which supports OOPs. Not only OOPs, actually, JavaScript actually supports object-oriented, functional, structural, and imperative. So different types of programming supports. We have object-oriented programming, functional programming, structural programming, imperative programming, procedure-oriented programming. So many programming approaches are there. JavaScript supports all of them, but not everything of them. Only few from imperative, few from functional, few from structural, like that. That means it's not a OOP language, but it supports only some features of OOPs. Due to that, a lot of drawbacks related to securities, related to extensibilities will come. These are all the problems with JavaScript that we face. Another major problem is browser compatibility. compatibility issues. Browser compatibility issues are there. Lot of browser compatibility issues are there. That means some options will work on some browsers, some will not work on other browsers. We have to manually verify everything. We have to write logic. I told you now, CSS also need lot of plugins, right? WebKit plugin, Mozilla plugins, Firefox, right? So browser compatibility issues are there with JavaScript. Browser wise, they change the work functionality. You have to write according to the browsers, right? That is one major drawback. Then what is the solution for this? This is all actually JavaScript. You see, get the official definition of JavaScript from MDN. MDN. I told you MDN. Now. Yesterday I told you Brendan Eich, right? Brendan Eich developed what? JavaScript. What else you don't know is Brendan Eich is the person who designed Mozilla Firefox browser. Mozilla Firefox, the browser designed by Brendan Eich. So Brendan Eich was the CEO of Mozilla company for several years. From 2-3 years, he resigned from the CEO. He is now the head of Mozilla Developers Network, MDN, officially. That means if you want to get correct information about JavaScript, you will get from MDN. MDN is the official JavaScript source, right? You can go to MDN JavaScript. You can see this is MDN. This is MDN official. This is MDN, Mozilla Developers Network. And you can see this is MDN. You see here what they say about JavaScript. JavaScript is a lightweight, interpreted or what compiled? Just-in-time compiled programming language. That's what the definition I given to you. JavaScript is not a client-side script, right? JavaScript is a language. And see here, JavaScript supports lot of programming. So supporting object-oriented, imperative, declarative, functional, different types of programming it will support. Is JavaScript object-oriented language? No. It is not object-oriented language. It supports object-oriented features, some of the features. It's not an OOP language. Remember, this is the definition from people who built it. Brendan Eich, the person who designed JavaScript, this is under the control of him. That means even today, so he is the head of MDN, the community network. That means all JavaScript related latest things you will get here. Any JavaScript related information, good information, correct information you will get here. Okay. So this important is, right? It is not an OOP language, but it supports some features of OOPs, right? These are all the drawbacks of JavaScript. That is the reason now latest developers, already we saw some drawbacks of CSS. To overcome the drawbacks of CSS, what we have done? We used a pre-compiler called Sass. Am I right? We used a pre-compiler called Sass. By using Sass, what you can do? You can utilize more programming features and build CSS more effectively and faster. Am I right? Right. Similarly, JavaScript also have problem. That is the reason now people are using solution for this is TypeScript. The solution for JavaScript is TypeScript. Now the future of the client-side script is TypeScript. Everywhere, React, Angular, everybody is using TypeScript. But TypeScript is not understandable to browser. Browser understands what? JavaScript. So, but developers use TypeScript, which is translated into JavaScript, same like Sass. That is the reason you can't handle any TypeScript without knowing JavaScript. Finally, JavaScript only browser understandable. But now developers are not directly using JavaScript. They are using TypeScript. But without knowing JavaScript, you can't do anything in TypeScript, right? So the solution is TypeScript. Currently, most trending is TypeScript. Actually, there are so many other scripts, but majority technologies are following TypeScript. There are so many other scripts. We have like CoffeeScript, we have like TypeScript, we have AtScript. So many other scripts are there, but this is one most trending. So we will see how this JavaScript works now. Right? TypeScript is not here. When you learn Angular, React like technologies, there they will teach you TypeScript, working with TypeScript and all. Right? So here we are going to deal with what JavaScript. Now, first point, you understood what are the basic of JavaScript. Now, how to use JavaScript and how do we write logic in JavaScript language one by one, we will see. That we'll see in next session tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow, we will start practical examples now with the JavaScript. How to write code, how to run it, how to use it. We will see step by step. Right? Tomorrow, we'll continue.